Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This is Burgundy Bets. We gamble on football and we cash tickets. Go ahead down, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We got Danny Lavin here to help us break down the week 7 slate. Dan, we got 6 teams on buys. We only got 13 games to turn a profit on. What's the board looking like to you? Do you got any early leans? Anything you're high on? Anything you're still scared about with this board? What's it look like to you?
I got a couple picks here, like always. I mean, there's some big spreads this week, so that's always, that's always something you got to look at, something you got to be paying attention to. But it's definitely an interesting board, that is for sure.
It is very interesting. Let's go right into it here. Thursday night football, we have the Denver Broncos traveling to Cleveland to play the Browns. This line opened up, believe it or not. The Browns were laying 5.5 at home. Obviously, has been hammered. It's all the way down. The news that Baker Mayfield with that torn labrum said he was going to start. He will not start. Casey Keenum will be starting this game. A couple books did take it off the board. When they brought it back, it was down to Denver plus 2.5. Lots of injuries in this game. Both of these teams have 12 players on IR or out for this game. I don't know who's going to be protecting Casey Keenum's blind side. I don't know who's going to be on left tackle. I did hear Von Miller say he doesn't care who's going to be out there. He's going to kill them. I did take a shot on the Broncos. I took the 3.5 last night. I don't endorse any under 3.5 plays here. I think that hook's important. This could be sloppy Thursday football, mid-season game, injuries on both sides. I know Teddy Bridgewater's nursing a foot injury, but he will play. You got anything on this one?
This one's tough. I mean, not only is there a lot of injuries, but there are some key injuries. I mean, both of their running backs, they got Chubb, we got Hunt out. OBJ is questionable. He's going to be a game time decision. This line opened up for the under at 44. I think it's at 42 right now. That would be an official play for me, under 42.
Under 42. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a rainy, not really rainy, but cloudy, gloomy day in Cleveland. 13-mile-per-hour winds. Yes, the under is off the board right now, also on multiple books, and it did open at 44. That's right. This could be dirty football, like you said. Big key injuries on the Browns. No Kareem Hunt, no Nick Chubb. It's going to be Deontay Hurst Johnson and Felton in the backfield. Felton will get the third down work. Johnson will be working on the 1s and 2s. I saw a player prop for him come out at 60.5 yards. Interesting here. Denver and Cleveland are both 2 and 4 against the run in yards per carry. So that's top in the NFL. Should be interesting. But we've got some plays on that one. We'll move on to the Sunday slate. We have the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Baltimore. This line opened up 6.5. It's going down to 6. A little worrying with most of the money coming in on Baltimore, but the line moving in their favor. Reverse line movement, always scary. Players for Cincinnati, Jamar Chase looks excellent. I mean, you brought it up. I was speaking to you last week about it, his props. I stayed off on it. You cashed on it. That was a great look, a great call. That connection, that LSU connection Joey Burrow has with him, fantastic. Ravens, on the other hand, I mean, Lamar Jackson, he's Superman. No more of this just rushing the ball. He's putting up yards through the air, 400-yard games, 300-yard games. Hollywood Brown, cashing overs game after game after game. Last game, he was only at 63.5. I mean, the guy's all over the place. Lots of fireworks here. What do you think of this total? Do you have a lean on this game? Are you picking a side?
The only thing that I found on this game that I thought was a little bit interesting is that Bengals unders are 5-0 in their last 5 games. That was something I was looking at. I saw that under was at 47.5. I believe it opened up. Not sure if it's still there, but I don't know. I think that spread's plays pretty well. Joey Burrow is looking like the franchise quarterback that Cincinnati was hoping for. And obviously, like you said about the Ravens, you can't get her better than Lamar Jackson is right now. So I think I like the under on that game, but that's probably about all I'd touch there.
Yeah, division rivals, they do know each other, playing twice a year. And it did opened up 47.5 and has since gone down to 47 pretty much everywhere on the books here. Weather should not be a factor. Looks to be a sunny day out there, 64 degrees. And those trends you said about the under is very interesting. Baltimore, obviously great, 4-0 ATS in their last couple games. They look great. I did not expect them to do what they did to the Chargers last week. I was on the wrong side of that one. I had Chargers money line +3. Did not see that coming.
Yeah, I agree.
That defense was everywhere. Okay, next game on the slate. We have the Carolina Panthers traveling to East Rutherford, New Jersey to play the New York Giants. This line's been at 3, went to 2.5 in a couple spots, now back up to -3 in Carolina's favor. No Christian McCaffrey. I know that's going to hurt you. You don't like that at all. The guy was placed on IR again. Can't stay healthy. I mean, he was projected to play last week. Thursday he was supposed to play. Then Saturday's on IR. Unbelievable. A guy can't stay healthy. Sam Darnold needs some help from his receivers here. Carolina receivers dropped 8 balls in that game against Minnesota last week. Carolina was number 1 in QB pressure through the first 5 weeks of the season. That has declined. They are not getting the pressure. I thought they would be all over Kirk Cousins. They did fight back in that game. They got the 2-point conversion on that 4th down. They forced overtime and just ended up losing in it. That was one of the games during the week that had reverse line movement last week that, I wanted to back Carolina. I really did. I wanted to take them home on the money line, getting plus money. The cash being on Carolina and the line moving away was what worried me and took me off that game. And it's glad it happened. I mean, they did fight back, but they did end up blowing that game. And now they get the New York Giants. Interesting thing here with the Giants. I was all over the Daniel Jones rushing props through the first couple of weeks of the season, cashed 4 in a row, got knocked out of that game, concussion, but then comes back and plays. He's now rushed for 9 and 4 yards in the last 2 games. Do you think we're going to get a soft number from the Bucs on his props here? And if we do, is that something you're going to be looking at, or are you going to stay aside total? Anything you got on this?
It depends where that drops, but I would definitely be interested in the under for Jones. I think the Panthers defense has looked a little bit shaky in the last 2 weeks, but those first 4, they looked fantastic. I think I even put a tweet out that they might have the best defense in the league through the first 4 weeks. Kind of got showed up the next 2, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, Danny Dimes everyone knows Daniel Jones is awful at home. I mean, the Giants are 0-3 at home. Daniel Jones has 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions at home. Awful stats. Yeah, I don't know how this line's so low, but I am definitely on the Panthers here.
On the Panthers there. Yeah, and, I'm sure the Rams last week helped with a lot of those stats. I mean, he was picked up multiple times, didn't have any time to do anything. No. Rams looking great.
Yeah, but one of those games is also against the Falcons at home, so.
Very true. I did go ahead and jump on that early Carolina love. I did place a futures to them to come in second in the division. Obviously, I have Tampa first in the division. I did put a play on them to come in second. Not really sure how that's going to play out for me now. We don't know what the Saints are yet, but that I might be regretting that play a little bit. Moving on, we have the Washington football team going against the Green Bay Packers. This line opened up Washington getting 10 points on the road, has since come down. It's, it went down to 9 in one spot. I did see DraftKings was hanging at 8.5 for about an hour or 2 yesterday. Basically 9.5 across the board now in Green Bay's favor. Devontae Adams continues to impress. He has over 300-yard games, including a 200-yard game. Taylor Heineke not really doing much. Little spurts here against bad football teams. Total here is 48.5, basically everywhere you look. Do you have anything on this one? You interested in making a move?
I really don't. The one thing I was trying to keep my eye out for is, are we on Fitzmagic watch right now? Is he about to be coming back pretty soon? Do we know what's going on?
No official news, but that is a possibility, I would imagine.
Yeah, this game's tough. The Packers have looked great. I think a lot of people lost money after that first game after the Saints, which I don't even know what to chalk that up as. But since then, they have been fantastic. But that's a big line. I don't think I can take anything there with Washington keeping it so close against the Chiefs last week for about 3/4 of football, and obviously that went against them at the end. But yeah, I don't have any plays for here.
Yeah, since that regular season opener, Green Bay is 5-0 against the spread. Obviously 5-0 in their last 5 games. I had something on this. Oh, if you had a teaser play to make in this game and you could take the football team up to 15.5 or Green Bay down to, what would that be? 3.5. Where would you go on this one?
I'd take Green Bay.
Green Bay.
No question.
Yeah, I'm thinking about throwing Green Bay in a teaser there. It does go through key numbers, 6, 7, 4. That could be something to look at. And, I'm going to have a teaser this week. I was bad on teasers first 3 weeks of the season. I've hit almost one every week since that. I think that's going to be a play for me there. How you doing on teasers? Are you making any this year? You getting in on that or just straight plays?
I'm just starting to get in on that recently.
Okay.
I haven't had a whole lot of luck in that in.
It is interesting. Most books only give you 6 points to do a teaser with. FanDuel actually let you go a 3 to 14 point teaser. So that's something to think about there. We have the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Tennessee. I don't know what to make of this game here. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. They can put up points when they need to, but the defense gives up points. Lines are at 5.5 everywhere across the board. The highest total of the week, 57.5 points. Obviously, we have Tennessee coming off that huge win on Monday Night Football. I was on the wrong side of that. I had the Bills first half, which I lost by 0.5 point on that hook, and I had the Bills first full game. Neither one of those came to fruition. And then I went ahead and took shots on player props. I went ahead and took Josh Allen over his rushing yards. He hit that in 4 out of the 5 games this year. And I did the same with Ryan Tannehill. He hit that at 4 out of 5 of the games this year. Obviously, both of those did not happen. I was on the right side of a Julio Jones prop. That was about the only cash I had on the night that went my way. Do you have any leans here? Any thoughts in Kansas City Titans?
I mean, Kansas City has not just had a bad defense. They have looked awful. Truly awful. One of the worst defenses in the NFL right now. Last week I had like Bills -4.5. That one didn't cash. Titans looked good. I say Titans are going to keep this a close game, and I'd have Titans +5.5.
Yeah, that's probably the way to look here. Home dogs here. Chiefs 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 following an ATS win, and Chiefs 0-5 in their last 5 ATS. Looks like Titans got to be the play here. I'm probably going to jump on that. Interesting to see. Where do you think it's going to go? Do you think the public's going to come on this and push this to 6, or do you think it's going to go in Kansas City's favor?
I think it might go in Kansas City's favor, honestly, after what the Titans did to the Bills last night. Or 2 nights ago, I apologize.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What do you think of the total? Think 57 is too much?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I really don't. I mean, that total smashed on Monday night.
Yep.
Chiefs, like I said, bad defense. Titans, I don't really know where their defense at, but it hasn't looked great so far this year. I think that total is pretty accurate.
Yeah, I got to tell you, great move unloading Julio for Henry Ruggs also in that league. That was a great trade. Julio now, hamstring injury again. He's out. You got Henry Ruggs out there putting up points. Great call on that one. Just wanted to throw that.
Some people called me a madman, but
I was one of those people. Moving on, the Atlanta Falcons travel to Miami to play the Dolphins. Interesting note here: the Dolphins are the only team out of the teams that played in London that do not get a bye week. They had to travel to London. Now they have to travel back home to Miami and host the Falcons. Every other team that played in London got a bye week the following week, including Atlanta coming off a bye. Calvin Ridley will be back for this game. Kyle Pitts coming off his first huge game as a top 5 pick. He looked great. He was all over the field. I was all over the Cordell Patterson props. I just thought the books were light on this. No Calvin Ridley. A decent total in the game. And they had his receiving props at 42. He smashed that by halftime. I'm going to be looking Cordell's way again on some of this props. It's interesting because he does get a lot of looks out of the backfield. I believe he's had at least 7 carries in every game he's been in. Also relieving Mike Davis. And a lot of these books do give you the player rushing and receiving total options. I'm going to be looking at Cordell Patterson on here again. If it's nothing too crazy, I will be on that. He just has gadget plays that he comes in with. It's scripted plays that Matt Ryan's supposed to send this ball his way. As far as Miami, I did have the Mike Gesicki receiving props. That cashed in the first quarter. He ended up with over 115 yards for the game. The receiving props were at 40. I will be all over that again. Tua Tagovailoa looks his way a lot. The other tight end, 81 Smurth, he put up over 59 yards as well. This might be a double up spot for me on Miami tight ends. I definitely will be on Gesicki. I don't have a side on this. And Any leans here? Any thoughts? Falcons at Miami.
Well, first of all, that Gesicki prop was a great look from you. I appreciate that. But I feel like the Dolphins' spirits might just be crushed. I don't know how you can return from England after losing to Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
And then try and put up a show next week. I don't have a look this week, but if I did, it would not be the Dolphins. I can tell you that much.
Gotcha. Yeah, Christmas come early for Urban Meyer here. He has the John Gruden news. He's out of the news. John Gruden thrust into the spotlight, and then he gets his first win. Said it was like winning a national championship, first NFL win, which, when you're in the NFL, playing every team is like playing Alabama. So it certainly makes sense to me. Any thoughts on the total here, sitting around 47.5?
No, I really don't, honestly.
Yeah. It's probably you got to be a little bit of a madman to have money on this game. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? Interesting though, Miami opened as a 1-point favorite and has since gone to a 2.5-point dog at home. So money, certainly, as you said, no one looking to back Miami here. I'm certainly not going to play on this game. I will be on the props once they are released. Hopefully the books, they don't like to overreact too much to one game. So I believe we should get a Gesicki prop somewhere in the 40s as well. Obviously higher 40s. But that will be my looks on this game.
Side note, did you see the Tua interception?
I watched most of that game. I did have to run out in the morning. What are we talking about?
I'll have to send you a clip. He threw a pass. I don't think there was a receiver within 15 yards of the guy.
Yeah. No, there was no one. Yes, I did see that. Terrible pass. Yep.
Absolutely awful.
He was trying to feed it down the sidelines, but he didn't put enough air on top of it and went just right to the defender.
Yeah, ridiculous. I mean, he did not look comfortable back there. So
no, it was not the best. Moving on, AFC East showdown. The New York Jets travel to New England to play the Patriots. Line opened up -6.5. Pinnacle did move it to Patriots -7.5. DraftKings was hanging a 6.5 still out there. Any thoughts here? Most of the cash and tickets on New England here. Low total, one of the lower ones of the week, 42.5, 43 points. Thoughts, Jets, Patriots?
I definitely like the Patriots here. If you can get a -6.5, I'd say take it. I'd probably take it at -7 too. I think I'm going to. And I might even parlay that with the under. The Patriots defense looked very good against Dallas's all-star offense. So yeah, I'd say Patriots -7 and the under.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that. Listen, we saw this game already this year. Week 2, the Patriots went to New York and just 25-6, beat them by 19 points. I don't see what's different here. I don't see what the Patriots have done to not be able to replicate that performance at home. And I don't see what the Jets have done to get better at all this year. So go ahead. Official play for me. Patriots -6.5. Give me the 7. Give me the 7.5. I might throw an alt spread on this game. I think this is robbery. Patriots all day. Moving on. Now we get into some of the higher totals and spreads of the week here. The Detroit Rams travel, or Detroit Lions travel to play the Los Angeles Rams in LA. One of the higher totals and spreads of the week, total 50.5 points, and the Rams laying 15.5 at home. This is a double revenge game. Matthew Stafford coming back to play the Detroit Lions, and Jared Goff playing the team that drafted him #1 overall. I think the only look you got to have on this game is LA. The worry is a backdoor cover here. A couple of interesting things I saw from this game. The Rams have the #1 passing attack in yards per completion, and the Detroit Lions give up the most yards per completion. This is a recipe for disaster going against LA here. I'm going to be on Cooper Kupp's props. I'm going to be on Robert Wood props. The only thing that worries me here is if this game just gets so far out of control that they take a lot of the key guys out. But this is the NFL. I think it's not going to get that bad on us. I did take the Rams first half. What do you like in this game? Are you leaning towards anything? Thoughts, ideas?
I want to back Detroit so bad. I've wanted to all season. I love MCDC over there. I think I love what he's doing. Love the passion he's putting into it. But I mean, I don't know how he can go into the press conference after last game and just shit on his quarterback. I don't think it's looking good. I don't think it's looking good against the Rams. I do like Henderson over total yards. He looked great against the Giants last week. I think he's going to keep that rolling.
That's a great look. I didn't even think about that. I'm going to have a uncomfortable amount of bets on this game. That Henderson prop is a great look. I'm probably going to have 3 Rams props. I already have the Rams first half.
Responsibly.
Yeah, of course. 1-800-GAMBLER is a toll-free hotline, ladies and gentlemen. So if that's an issue for you, remember that. Thoughts on the total here, 50.5.
It seems a little bit high. I don't know if I can trust Detroit to be putting up points against the Rams defense. Going into the season, I think a lot of us thought the Rams might have the best defense in the league. They've been a little bit shaky, but I think against Detroit, they stop a lot.
Are you going to throw in any Jared Goff interception props? I know you like those.
I love the interception props. I've cashed on a lot of them this season so far. Yeah, I'll have to see if it's 1.5 or if it's 0.5. But if it's 0.5, I think I'd be taking that.
If it's 0.5, I will be taking that as well. I'm sure it will be probably a juiced number. Most of your books are probably going to give you those interception props Friday night or Saturday morning. They're not too super early on that. Once again, DraftKings Sportsbook and BetMGM, at least here in the States, seem to be the books to give you the quickest player props. They usually have them out Thursday night. Most of them by Friday. FanDuel kind of tags on the back end a little bit there. What do you see from Barstool Sportsbook there? Are they quick on the props, slow on the props? Do they let the market figure it out for them?
I think they're a little bit behind, to be honest. Okay. I like using Barstool because I like the boys over there. I think they put out some great content. But yeah, I definitely bet MGM or DraftKings if you're going for player props early.
Absolutely. If you had to throw Detroit or LA in a teaser here, which way are you going? You taking Detroit up or LA down?
I'm taking LA down.
Yeah, same. I mean, I think there's some interesting teaser plays here this week. Obviously, big numbers, but these are big numbers for a reason. These teams are not supposed to have close games, and they are supposed to blow them out. Next up, 4:00, we have the Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Las Vegas to play the Raiders. This line of it was at Vegas -3 at home, and a couple books have given you the hook now, -3.5. If you like Philly, great. Total in this game, 49 points. I just don't know what to make from this Philadelphia team. 1 week they look great. 1 week they look terrible. Jalen Hurts could not complete a pass against Tampa that whole first half of that game. I took Jalen Hurts over passing props, and I took Zach Ertz over yards in that game, along with Antonio Brown over, which cashed. The thoughts on that game was just Tampa Bay is going to stop the run, and they're going to make Jalen Hurts pass. And that was a great look. However, he couldn't complete a pass to keep a drive going. 3 and out. Eventually, they start running the ball in that fourth quarter when Tampa, had 3 guys on the line, had everyone back in coverage. So I think that's a little bit skewed when people saw Miles Sanders getting those big runs. Well, he's running against a 3-man front because everyone else is back in coverage. I will be looking at the Jalen Hurts rushing props here. I will be looking at the Darren Waller receiving props. I know you got a soft spot here on this game, but what are you thinking?
As a Philly fan, I'm of course going to say Bird's money line. I don't see what other play you could possibly have here. But yes, going back to Tampa Bay, I mean, it's very easy to have a great run defense when Nick Sirianni doesn't run the fucking ball. I don't know what the hell he's doing coaching over there. Jalen Hurts can't connect on the deep balls. Our defense looks awful. That being said, Philly fan all day, Eagles money line. However, if I wasn't a Philly fan, I'd be taking Raiders -3. I think this spread's a little bit low.
Okay, so do with that what you will. He basically just told you who to pick. Thoughts on the total here?
None. I really don't have any.
Okay. Yeah, I respect. If I had to lean, I would take the Raiders in this game, but I don't really see myself to have any action on this game. Hey, first game without John Gruden, they looked great. Maybe this team just hated Gruden. They get special teams coordinator in there as interim coach. Looked great at Denver. The Raiders are a look here.
That man's been coaching football for 27 years, I believe. This is his first shot at head coach, and he blew it out of the water. He looked great against a very good defense in Denver. So
That's true. Yeah. After talking this through with you, I will probably be adding the Raiders to my card. I will take the +3 though. If by the end of this it's a 3.5 everywhere, I'll probably stay off. Moving on, we have the Chicago Bears traveling to Tampa Bay to play the reigning defending Super Bowl champs. This line opened up Tampa -13 and is down to 12.5 on some books. Chicago Bears, Justin Fields, they're going to want to run the ball. Good luck. You're not going to be able to run it against Tampa Bay. We saw what Tampa Bay did to Jalen Hurts. They had him running for his life. Maybe that's, part of the reason he couldn't complete a pass. He was just under pressure the entire game. I do not expect Chicago to be able to run the football here. I expect Justin Fields to have to pass the ball. And Tampa Bay secondary is weak. Lots of injuries, lots of guys hurt. I just don't know if that's a positive game script for Chicago. It seems like a lot of stuff's against Chicago here. I will be all over the Justin Fields over rushing props, however. The books opened up his props starting the year 50. Then it went down to 45. Then it went down to 40. You could have got Fields rushing props last week at 20 yards, which for one of the only times this year he actually went over that. I hope we don't get too much of an overreaction from that and we get a prop somewhere in, the high 20s, maybe low 30s, because I think he will be running for his life. He will have to scramble a lot in this game. I'll be all over that. As far as Tampa goes, I think a minus first half play is an option here in this game. I just don't see what Chicago's going to be able to do to stop this offense. I mean, Tampa Bay has been rolling on everyone. They kind of get out to a lead, and in that second half, they get backdoored. We saw it against Philadelphia. Not that they take their foot off the gas, but just they don't have that same energy they had in the beginning of the game. At least it seems to me on most of these drives. Total at 47 points here. I think we go over in that. Thoughts? Chicago Bears, Tampa Bay. Who do you got? Any leans, likes, props, totals?
I think I have to go against you here. I think the Bears are looking a lot better now that Matt Nagy's not calling the plays. I think Justin Fields is looking a lot more comfortable. They had a great start against Green Bay last week. Yeah, I like the Bears to cover the spread.
Okay. A couple interesting things here. The over is 4-0 in Buccaneers' last 4 home favorite games. Over 6-1 in Bucs' last 7 in Week 7, and Bucs are 6-1 ATS in their last 7 following an ATS loss. So trends, do what you want with trends. Every game, it's any given Sunday. Anything can happen here. This is the NFL. Any player props, anything like that you like on this game?
Justin Fields rushing is tough. I've taken him twice so far this year. Neither of them hit. I wish I had taken him last week, of course, as is, the life of a bettor. But I think unless something pops out to me on Thursday night or Friday when these get released, I think I'm staying off player props.
Okay, so obviously, if you're taking Chicago to cover this number here, if you had a teaser, you take Chicago up, no?
Yep.
Okay, very nice. Moving down, 425, Glendale, Arizona, the Houston Texans. One of the biggest spreads of the week. Arizona laying 17 and the hook at home. Double revenge game. J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins, both playing their former team here. I do see a lot of narrative that this could be a look-ahead spot for Arizona. They will have a short week coming up. They're going to be playing Green Bay on Thursday Night Football. We kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. Obviously, preparation. If a coach is spending an extra couple hours a day looking forward to a game, that's one thing. But as far as the players on the field, when Kyler Murray's on a 3rd and 8 and he needs a first down, he's not fucking thinking about what Green Bay's defense is going to look like on Thursday. He's going to be playing the game in the moment on the field. Is this spread too big for you? Do you have a lean here? Are you going to lay the 17 in the hook on the Cardinals?
This one's so tough. Last week I had my worst pick of the year by far. I had Texans plus 10.5 and the Colts.
Yep.
If that spread was at 26.5, the Texans would not have covered. So I can't see how you could not think this is a correct spread. They just add another weapon and Zach Ertz from my Philadelphia Eagles over there. I think he's gonna, he'll be catching some balls. We'll see how he fits in. But if I had to do anything here, I'd probably tease these Cardinals down down a bit, but I would not look at the Texans at all. I don't think you could back them even slightly.
Yeah, it is interesting. I was looking at a lot of these lines, these big favorites, I wanted to see what we could get, teasing the underdogs up through the 20s, because this is the NFL. These are the best of the best. And even as I was looking at it, I had about a 4-leg teaser, and I'm looking at them just like, oh, Jesus Christ, there's about 2 teams in here that could fuck this one up. So it's going to be interesting. Cardinals 4-0 ATS in their last 4 games overall. Cardinals 4-0 ATS following a straight win. Trends are in the Cardinals' favor. The only undefeated team left in the league. What do you think of their chances here? Arizona was plus 600 to win the division before the season started.
The Cardinals have really shocked me so far this year. There's a couple teams, we'll get to the 49ers later, but there's a couple teams that I thought, may have looked good on paper and then got to the season and they might have been exposed a little bit. Cardinals were one of them, and I've been very proven wrong. I don't think we're looking at any sort of, Dolphins perfect year records going for here, but definitely a playoff team and definitely a contender. I would not be surprised if we saw Cardinals in the playoffs. Or I'm sorry, in the Super Bowl.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to disagree with that. And I do believe the 72 Dolphins will be popping champagne as well once the Cardinals get that first loss. Thoughts on the total?
None.
What was that? What was that total sitting at right now? I just had it. 48.
I can't trust the Texans to put up any points at all, especially after last week. I mean, you're never as good or as bad as you were the week before, but Texans looked real bad last week, and I can't trust them to put up enough points to hit that over. I also can't say the Cardinals aren't going to score enough to get it, so I'd stay off that. But
yeah,
what do you think?
Well, Christ, Cardinals could put up 31. Houston scores a touchdown and still doesn't hit. Yeah. But yeah, I'm with you there. I will have Arizona. I was thinking about Arizona first half in this game also. A lot of these big favorites, I love first half plays on. I already have a play on the Rams first half. I wanted to play on the Cardinals here first half, and
I was just first half looking at.
Well, I've just been getting slaughtered on first halves here. I believe Arizona is minus 10.5 first half. Yeah. I mean, they're going to make sure there's a hook there. You're not going to get a 10. Now you can buy points. I kind of had to force to do that with the Rams game. I love a lot of these first halves, but I've been getting beat on them this year. And I haven't learned my lesson. I'm going to go right back to the well this week, and I'll probably have 2 or 3 of them. Once again, guys,
those first halves are tough. But
yeah, no, they are. Once again, guys, official plays are in the description of the video down here below. I am 56-40-1 for the year. And a bad week last week. I went 7-9 last week. Brought the record down, still sitting pretty good on the year. Had a lot of big weeks to start the season. And what's been hurting me lately? These primetime games, the Philadelphia game with the Buccaneers, I added 2 official plays into the description that I did about 10 minutes before the game started, which were the Ertz and the Hurts props. Both of those didn't hit. And then I added in the rushing props for both quarterbacks on the last Monday night primetime game about 10 minutes before kickoff, and those didn't hit. So I'm going to stop doing that and just have official plays being what I've gone through throughout the week, what I feel most comfortable on. But enough about that. Let's move on. Indianapolis at San Francisco. San Francisco laying 4 points at home, over under at 44 points here. Thoughts, ideas on this matchup? Because I don't have a lean. I have no idea what's going to happen. Jimmy G might start this game, but it trends to seem like it will be Trey Lance here again. Brandon Ayuk has been very underwhelming for the San Francisco 49ers and for many fantasy football players. Brandon Ayuk, a first-round draft pick, showed a lot of flash, a lot of brilliance, and got in the doghouse earlier this season, but he's getting snaps. He's getting reps, not producing. Deebo Samuel, an absolute freak machine. I think he has 400-yard games or 300-yard games this year. Gets looked at a lot and smashes over props. Tight end George Kittle is out for this game. Kicker Robbie Gould out. Very important for the Niners. They will not have the kicker in what seems to be a close game, and he is a very good NFL kicker, has produced at high levels in the past. Lots of injuries and concerns here for the Niners, as it was last year. This team cannot stay healthy. Running back position is hurt a lot. Cornerback position hurt. And then we come over to Indianapolis. This team dealing with injuries themselves, but it seems to be getting healthier. Now we know Paris Campbell is out for last game, but we see the reemergence of T.Y. Hilton. Comes out 3 for 70, looks great. Deep connection with Carson Wentz right away. 2 sprains is looking great. I think he only has 1 sprain now. Interesting total. Interesting on this game. Indianapolis getting 4 points on the road at San Francisco. Could be a rainy day out there in San Francisco. 12.5-mile winds, precipitation at 87%. Thoughts, ideas, Indianapolis at San Francisco. Take it away.
I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but I've said since the start of the season, and I'll keep saying it until the 49ers can prove to me that they're not. I think they're frauds. I can't back the 49ers here. I love the Colts, actually. Carson Wentz looked fantastic last game. Granted, that's against the Texans, but still, he looked very good. T.Y. Hilton obviously looked great. I mean, I'd take the Colts. I had him at +3.5. If it's at +4 now, I'd say even better. But yeah, I like the Colts on the spread.
Yeah, a lot of positive trends backing the Colts here as well. As far as numbers, ATS against the spread, 4-0, 5-0, when accumulating a certain amount of yards in a game. That's positive for the Indianapolis going on here. I think Indianapolis is the sharp side of this game. I might even throw a shot on the money line. Thoughts on the total sitting at 44?
It's so tough with the total when you have both your quarterbacks as questionable. I mean, Jimmy G's questionable, Trey Lance is questionable. Like you said, Kittle's out. I really don't know who's going to be throwing the ball here. So I'd stay off that.
Okay. You did cash the Trey Lance rushing props in his first start. Very sharp look. I wish I was on that. Just slow movement by me. And, you know, I pride myself on being very sharp in the props market, and just missing that and missing the T.Y. Hilton prop when I knew to check it, and it just slipped my mind. Very disappointing, but great job on that. What do you think this week, Lance rushing props, if he does suit up and it's not Jimmy G?
Those dropped at, I believe, 17.5 or something. It was very low.
Was it that low?
It was very low that I got those at. I don't know where they're going to drop at this week, but I'd say they were good luck. Colts have had a great defense, though. I don't know what their what their quarterback scramble defense has looked like so far. So we're gonna have to see where they drop at and then maybe make a play there.
Yeah. I will be if it's what I think he finished somewhere in the 40s. I think we're gonna get a correction, and I think they will have it high 30s. But that's something I will certainly be looking at also.
You're also 56 and 40, man. Don't have to beat yourself up so bad about that.
Well, I appreciate that. You are too kind. Moving on. Monday Night Football. The New Orleans Saints travel to Seattle with the 12th man to play the Seahawks. Seahawks catching 5 points at home. Total at 43 here. This line dropped, I believe, 5.5, and then I saw it at 4.5 somewhere on books. It seems to flatten out somewhere around that 5 right now. Injuries, another thing in the NFL here. Russell Wilson out 8 weeks. We saw Geno Smith against Pittsburgh last week. Did not look to inspire a lot of confidence moving forward in the betting market. And the Saints having the bye week. Sean Payton a full extra week to prepare for this game. Thoughts, early leans, ideas. Saints, Seahawks, take it away.
This has got to be the toughest game of the week to call for anyone. I mean, I don't know who the Saints are at this point. You watch and you don't know who the Saints are. We do know who Geno Smith is. But I mean, this Seahawks without Russell Wilson is not something that any of us have prepared for over the last few years. I mean, this is not something we've ever seen. Geno Smith got a tough start going against one of the best defenses in the league, arguably the best. If I had to pick something, I'd take the Seahawks on the spread, but I am staying far away from this game as of now.
Yeah. Interesting thing here. I noticed the New Orleans Saints #1 in the league in defensive yards per carry rushing the ball. They're giving up 3.3 yards a carry. So there's no Chris Carson. There's no Rashad Penny. Alex Collins is banged up. Now he's probably going to have to go for this game, but if New Orleans continues to stop the run here, Geno Smith's going to have to beat this team.
It's a great look. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm going to probably be on the New Orleans side of this game. I'm hoping this line gets closer. A lot of people love backing Seattle at home. I think they have one of the highest ticket shares for home dogs in the league over the last years that Russell Wilson has been their quarterback. I'm hoping it's going to get a little bit lower. If I'm wrong and it goes the other way, I'll probably just stay off it. Any thoughts on the total in this one sitting at 43, one of the lower ones on the week?
I don't have any thoughts on the total. I think that's about accurate. However, I did want to mention Jameis Winston. If his interception perks are 0.5, I would definitely take that. We all love watching Jameis Winston play, but that man knows how to throw an interception.
You love your interception props. You are one of the only cappers I know that seeks out interception props, and you hit them. I mean, you're good at it. So hey, we just keep doing what's right here. Is Michael Thomas going to be back for this game? He was activated from the PUP list. Is obviously that's a big look. You think he's going to play here?
I really don't know. I mean, I know we were talking about that earlier. You said you think he's going to be playing. So, I mean, if it is, that's huge for the Saints. We don't really know what him and Jameis look like together, but that'd be an interesting look as to what his props drop at if he is playing.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Exactly. I mean, we have seen it. These books dropping short numbers on players coming back who haven't played. I mean, Michael Thomas, I think he has at least that 2019 season. He went off, obviously got hurt last year, hurt this year with that surgery in the off season, which pissed Sean Payton off. But I mean, I think we get a soft number on these props if Michael Thomas does indeed suit up. So that's something to look at that I will be on here. As far for teasers, we're on opposite sides of that Chicago Buccaneers game. But I think that's a game we can tease. I think a game the Rams we can tease, possibly the Cardinals. Any other of these spreads you think we could throw in one for the week? Maybe Green Bay?
It's tough. I like I like Chicago in that game.
I know you do. Yep.
Green Bay, I don't know. You're much more the tease guy than I am, so I'd have to refer to you on that.
I do love me a nice tease. Okay, well, we kind of see the board similar this week. We are on opposite sides of Chicago, Tampa Bay, and currently on opposite sides of the Monday night Seattle, New Orleans game. That's it. That's the full Week 7 breakdown. Dan, thank you so much. This was a blast, dude. I loved it.